The two of us roaming about the galaxy in the flagship of the Federation. No crew at all.
We've never needed a crew before.
Well, hello and good evening. Remember us? Star Trek: The Next Generation. Yeah. Star Trek: The Next Generation, Season 4, Episode 5. Remember Me first aired back in 1990, but here in 2026 on Live Long and Podcast, we're just getting started. Whether you're joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or catching the audio versions wherever you get your podcasts, our mission to rewatch every episode of TNG continues. One warp bubble anomaly, one disappearing crew member, and one increasingly claustrophobic alternate reality at a time. And now, this is your captain speaking. I am your host, Dave Mader. I'd like to say we have a whole panel here, but so far, we have one.
A lot of things are absent, like my webcam.
Like your webcam and all these things. It's a shrinking universe. It's a smaller shrinking universe, and soon it will just be me, maybe. Our technologist and cynic in chief, questioning warp bubble physics, the Traveler's metaphysics, and whether Starfleet really has a protocol for this universe is shrinking and only our doctor notices. It's Jody Simpson.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Jody.
I'm sorry I can't be here in person, but I'm in the warp bubble.
You're in the warp bubble.
Yes.
Well, are we qualified to run this ship by ourselves?
Yes, absolutely. Oh. We don't need anybody. We don't need Heather. We don't need Shaggy. We don't need Adam. Just us.
Well, I would like to have them along. I
nice.
I do need them. Like we owe them more than that. Like Riker and Troy. She loves chocolate.
Dave, there is absolutely no record of these people you were speaking of.
What do you mean? Like Worf? Who's that?
Worf. Worf.
Yes. Well, we're talking about Remember Me from Star Trek: The Next Generation's 4th season, the 79th episode overall. That aired on October 22nd, 1990, written by Lee Sheldon, directed by Cliff Bowl, and following the synopsis is, following an anomaly in a warp bubble experiment, Dr. Crusher finds the crew members are beginning to disappear, and she's the only one who seems to notice. As her universe shrinks and the reality becomes increasingly unstable, Beverly races to understand what's happening before she vanishes as well. Meanwhile, Wesley and the Traveler work together to pull her back before the warp bubble collapses entirely. Although you don't really know all that until, a good part into the episode, Jody.
That's true.
And rewatching this today, I was having a good time with it. How about you?
You know what? It's a great episode. I remember it being a great episode, and it still holds up. It's a good episode. It's got everything. It's got blaming Wesley for something. It's got Worf disappearing. That is always a good time. And overall, I just think it's a solid episode. I really like it.
Yeah, me too. Hey Sam, how are you doing?
Hi Sam.
Yeah, it's a solid episode. Great concept of an idea. Great mystery reveal until the first time you watch it. More so, if I can remember back that far. But just this concept of ideas, and that we think that we're seeing everything from Dr. Crusher's perspective, only to realize she's in the little micro universe or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then the Traveler has to show up, and He's got big cow hands, Jody.
He does. Yes.
You know, the Tau Ceti Alpha people.
Mhm.
That's what they're known for. And I guess their ability to merge space, time, and thought into one thing.
What? You mean you can't do that, Dave?
Not yet.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
working on it. Apparently, it just involves closing your eyes and using buttons you can't see.
Makes sense.
So, and then you'll start to like kind of disappear. It's like kind of a space magic, but whatever.
Nothing beats good space magic.
Good space magic. We also not too many guest stars in this episode, although we do get Bill Irwin here as Dalen Quace, her like old mentor, doctor
served
mentor.
with him.
Yeah, exactly. She
12
served with
years
him.
or something.
Never heard of this Quace man. I thought he was Walter Brimley, but he was
No.
not Walter Brimley.
You mean Wilford Brimley?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Diabetes.
All right. But this is otherwise, Jody, a bottle episode too.
It is. Yeah, there's no real new sets or anything like that, and I think this kind of marks the first of the episodes where it's it focuses just on one character for the most part, and everybody else is the supporting cast.
Yeah, well, we have, I think, officially crossed into that era with this episode.
Yeah, I think this is kind of the first one that really marks off that era.
Well, like last week's episode was what? It was Suddenly Human, which was kind of a Picard episode, although it was very much about the guest star Jono and everything else.
Yeah.
But I would almost consider that the first one. But
yeah, you could be right. Yeah,
but this one really is like, this is a Crusher episode,
and I guess Brothers technically was a Picard episode too.
Well, I would say that. It was like they had three plots going, right? They had the Worf and his parents plot, and Wesley and his father, and this one, it's like, no, Beverly Crusher is the star of this episode, 100%. Has way more dialogue than anybody else, and it's they're going more into this character driven storylines that they were doing in season 3, but it's really going to be like the model going forward, and it will become like the template for a lot of like how Deep Space Nine structures their seasons, and Voyager and Enterprise after this.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Which
mostly worked. It was a great way to use the ensemble cast because when we went back, Jody, and we did like original series, we're like, it's all Kirk and Spock, and then McCoy like a little bit.
Yeah, once in a while, yeah.
Once in a while, and like Scotty and Sulu, if they get a line, they're doing good that day. But most of that doesn't focus on any of them. It's a very Kirk driven show, and then Spock too. But like I would say, like that definitely leans more on its lead, which this show was doing, more in the first couple seasons. But especially I'd say the first season, and this is kind of a nice mix up of how they make these episodes. We get a great science fiction concept. We get to let this ensemble cast really flex their acting muscles, and be in there. And Gates McFadden in particular, she, like most episodes up until this point, she doesn't have a lot to do, a lot to say.
No, especially this season. Like, there's not a lot she really contributes to the season until this episode.
Mm-hmm. She's like,
it's all perfectly logical to you, isn't it?
So that's how it goes. Yeah. Now we're expecting Shaggy to join us, and Heather, she was under the weather, so she had to pull out, and Adam, we don't know, maybe he'll show up, but it could just be you and me here, at least for the next little while. Jody,
we got somebody. Oh, it's Adam. Yay.
Speaking of the devil, tonight he's tracking the power dynamics behind the crisis, Starfleet procedure, scientific responsibility, and the travelers stepping in when a reality starts to unravel. When the episode asks who holds the key to saving Beverly, he's locked in. Adam Woodward, everyone. He's muted. He's here.
You're muted, Adam.
I'm here. Okay.
There you go.
What's happening? Where's everybody tonight?
Heather got sick. Shaggy, his dinner plans went awry or something, and Jody was having technical issues.
I'm still having technical issues. My webcam's not working.
Okay,
So-
happy to be here.
Hi, Adam.
happy
What do you
you're
think?
here,
What do you think about this episode?
What is this? I'm just kidding.
I don't remember.
Me?
This episode was good. I didn't love. I didn't love this Beverly episode at the time, but I did grow over time to like it. Hey, Sam, thanks. I thought that the old doctor is a little bit old, but
Quace?
Quace, right?
It's just a spring chicken. What are you talking about?
Yes.
He was born in 1914. That actor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what in 1990 was 86 or something? Like, am I doing the math there right?
Yeah, you are doing that. I think that it's great. They have a lot of like older actors. Like that one guy in the Kivas Faggio episode, all the best toy that was the most toys.
Yeah.
That guy that came on and was his dinner guest. He was like born in the 20s as well. Like it was I mean, these actors are gone now. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the guy who played Quace, Bill Irwin, he died in 2010 at the age of 96. So,
Wow.
wait, maybe I did the math there wrong. 90 minus 14. He was 76 in this episode, not 86, and he lived in another 20 years.
Really?
So,
Wow. Good for
you
him.
know, so.
But you know it's funny is that when they, and no disrespect to elderly as I'm getting older, but they still put them in the Starfleet uniforms, which are a little bit curvy and shape hugging, and it's odd.
Yeah, when you have like a bigger actor come in, like with a few pounds, it was way worse in the first season 1 and season 2 uniforms.
Yes, it really was.
You really couldn't hide anywhere in those, unless you had. Well, a lot of them wear these like sort of spanky kind of muscle suits underneath.
Well, I always loved when they, Dr. McCoy or DeForest Kelly, when they put him in the first episode and he's wearing the short pants, the tucked up. He's got these skinny little legs and he's wearing that jacket. But yeah, it's still great to see them.
Yeah, I was also thinking about Scotty.
Scotty never wore a proper uniform because of his size.
Right, they always had to give him like these vests and these other things to sort of. Yeah, like, well, he does in that one scene at like the end of Voyage Home where they have to like face like the court martial or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time I can really remember him wearing it. Okay, well, we lost Jody, so I'm glad you're here because it would have just been me looking at myself. So we're going to jump into the screenshots of the episode and break it all down. We're expecting Shaggy to join us here at some point as well. So, we start off here as the Enterprise is docking at Starbase 133. This is a reuse of some shots, I believe, from season 1. I think it's from the episode with Minuet, when the Enterprise was getting that refit at the time on their computers. I think they've changed the planet out. Like, I think that was a different planet. But anyway,
I love these Starbases, by the way. Like, they just look great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It looks awesome. I love, even though it's a reuse, you see the Enterprise come in and they're here not for a long time. They're just here for maybe some, personnel changes. And we get Dr. Crusher giving her log for the voiceover as Dr. Quace beams aboard. Her old mentor, when she was an intern, he was like kind of her teacher. And he beams aboard, and basically the Enterprise is giving him a lift to Earth or somewhere like back to a different place. O'Brien's present, which seems like an inconsequential detail, but it does come up much later in this episode. As he says, "Hey, see you later, Doctor," and he gets back to work. As there's some dialogue here between Dr. Quace and Dr. Crusher, they're mentioning that his wife has passed away somewhat recently. They had been married for a long time, and that he decided he wanted to leave this post at Starbase 133 after 6 years because just too hard to work in the same office and be in the same place that he had shared with his wife, who has since passed. Dr. Crusher can relate somewhat, although not quite as much because she lost her husband. after about 6 years of marriage, and it's been a single parent since then. Anyway, so after this is the end of Dr. Quace. She gets dropped off here at the quarters. Then, because of this conversation, we'll find out Dr. Crusher goes to engineering, where Wesley Crusher is running a little experiment that's going to basically set the events of this episode in motion. You got Geordi LaForge saying, "I want my warp engines now, Wesley. What the hell are you doing? Get off of here." But Crusher comes to pay her son a visit in engineering, and she tries not to get in his way. She just wants to, I guess, watch him work. So he's working on his...
How many episodes, how many disasters or crises did Wesley cause?
More than he's solved, but, or as many as he caused. Yeah, I don't know. He's working on we'll find out this is called a static warp bubble, because the previous episode with the Traveler, which was where no one has gone before, talked about all these concepts of space and time and thought. And, in that episode, the Enterprise was able to travel across the galaxy or even to another galaxy, I think, in that episode. It was pretty incredible. So I guess they're kind of going with that concept here. But this, we'll find out that safety protocols perhaps were not observed with this experiment, because Crusher's working on his little experiment, and Geordi tells him to shut it down. We need to turn the warp engines back on and leave. And in that moment, it flashes. We see this flash in engineering. We don't know what it is. Everyone's a little taken aback here, but as Geordi walks over to where Wesley is, if you're paying attention, you'll notice that Dr. Crusher is no longer present. It's quick, it's subtle, but she's no longer there.
First flash of this.
Wesley and Geordi can't quite figure out what caused the flash, what's going on, but everything else seems to be fine. And after that kind of passes, Wesley realizes his mother is no longer present. She's not where she was standing a moment ago, and he even double takes, but he figures, she must have walked off when I wasn't paying attention. As the Enterprise leaves the starbase, and Dr. Crusher heads over to see her friend Dr. Quace at his quarters, but there's no answer when she hits the door chime. So she goes right to the security override and wants to know what the hell's going on. Mr. Quace, Dr. Quace, no, he's not a Mr. Dalen, his first name. Anyways, not here. Dr. Crusher can't quite figure it out, and I don't know if she asks the computer. Oh, yeah, I think she does. At the very end of this teaser, she goes, computer, where is Dr. Quace? And the computer says, there is no such person on board, or there's computer cancel. Anyway, that is our teaser for the episode. It's not like too flashy or too much going, but there's some intrigue built up as we get our credits and our title card for the episode. Picking up right where we left off with Dr. Crusher in these empty quarters, not knowing where her friend is. She calls Lieutenant Worf, who is confused, doesn't know why. He doesn't know about this passenger. It's standard procedure that any passenger coming out of the Enterprise has to be approved by the captain and then is downloaded to the chief of security. That's the standard protocol for all people coming aboard. And Worf doesn't know about it, but it must have been missed. Anyway, he tries to do the inquiry, but there's nothing. And Crusher feels like, well, maybe he fell somewhere and he can't be, he's hurt, or he can't answer. His comm badge may have fell off. He's a really old man. But Worf's like, well, if that's the case, then why is all his stuff gone? Where are all his belongings? This doesn't make sense. But Dr. Crusher can't explain it. Sometime later.
So Dave,
yes,
it is kind of, again, respectful of Dr. Crusher that everybody's trying to understand what's going on. At this point, they're actually taking this seriously, and she's not crazy.
Right. Yeah. Well, but it becomes increasingly like a gaslighting. Before we go any further, let's just bring in our next panelist. Where's my little thing? Captain America himself from Washington, D.C. to the Enterprise D. He's already ready to break down the tension of an episode where the universe literally closes in on one person. If Beverly's fighting reality itself, he's already analyzing the power plays. Chris, Shaggy, Vasilas, everyone.
Sorry for my tardiness, but I was fighting my own warp bubble tonight, so happy to see somebody else trapped in it, Beverly.
Well, we're glad you got out. It was the power of thought.
I was late too. I'm glad to be here too. We were all kind of late.
Yeah, and Jody's having technical difficulties, and I don't know. So
Yeah, no, sorry about that.
Are you working again?
No, camera's still not working.
Boo.
All right. Well, we don't need to see your beautiful face anyway. So let's we were just at this part here with the teaser of the episode, or just past the teaser actually, when Dr. Crusher is asking Worf to look for her missing friend, Dr. Quace. But Shaggy, what do you think of this episode? Are you a fan?
I need to stop listening to my dad because he's not a fan of the episode. I don't think it's all that bad. I mean, I know I'm not the biggest Beverly Crusher fan, but she gets stuff to do this episode. It's kind of an interesting premise. So yeah, I like it enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's all perfectly logical to you, isn't it?
How many more times are we going to hear that clip today?
I like it. I like the little parts of it with her. Anyway, they start this investigation. We get this meeting up in Captain Picard's ready room. It's Data, Worf, and Crusher all talking to Picard, and they're like, "We can't find any trace of this guy. There's no log of him ever being on the ship. No one can search for him here." And they're like, "Well, someone's kidnapped Dr. Crusher's friend. We need to get to the bottom of this." And Picard is very cooperative. He's trying his best, but this is the beginning of Crusher is slowly going crazy. But everyone's trying to believe her, go along with her. They know this is the Star Trek universe where a lot of crazy stuff does happen. So they need to, look into this. So then Data on the bridge says, not only can we not find a record of him at the starbase or on the ship, but at any point ever in Starfleet, we can't find a record of this person. And she's like, "This is not true. I know this person. It has to be. This is all inside of Dr. Crusher's mind. So she's not actually dealing with the real people here, but
so she was trained or interned with him or something like that. So I would be really interested. They didn't go into that, but did those records change and did she intern with somebody else?
Oh yeah, everything's changed. Like it's just gone. Like it's just but otherwise the computer otherwise works. Even right up to the end of the episode, right? And a lot of this seems to be based on the idea of it manifesting. like Beverly inside of this static warp bubble, whatever she believes to be true is true. And because she was thinking about her friend losing his wife and then her losing Jack Crusher, that this kind of spawned this reality. But she could have almost envisioned anything, it seems like. At one point, the Traveler says, as long as she believes she's alive, she'll be alive inside of this thing. Right? It's a lot of it's based on sort of your ideas. It's a really cool science fiction episode in that way for me. Although, somewhat science fantasy as well. Anyway, they go down to see O'Brien. Of course, O'Brien was there when we beamed over Dr. Quace yesterday. He'll back me up. And O'Brien has no idea what she's talking about. Dr. Quace, you were here? And she's like, well, remember when I was here yesterday? And what's this comment here? EJR, I really enjoyed this episode, but once again, why is Wesley allowed to do this stuff? Well,
EJR has prompted me to start looking into how many times Wesley has screwed up and put the ship in danger. So just wait till Fun Facts. We'll have something for you there.
I'm going to say
Sometimes he's
12
drunk.
times.
How many times?
12.
Okay. Dave, how many times do you think?
I go 7, 8, maybe.
Okay. Shaggy?
I'm gonna go half a season, so 15.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm going to say 6.
Half a season's 13, by the way.
Oh shoot!
So Jody was 12, Shaggy's 13, and I'm 6. Okay.
And I said, what, 8?
8, yeah.
So as long as if it's between 6 and 8, you get it. But if it's between 8 and 13, I
All
get
right, let's just move on.
All right. Doing too much math here for Jody. Anyway, Brian doesn't know what this is, what she's talking about. My favorite part is like he's like, "Yeah, you came in yesterday. You like stared at the wall and you just said thank you, and that was it." And I was like,
Why didn't like O'Brien report that?
because he's got better things to do. Come on.
Like what?
What? Dr. Crusher came in and said thank you. What's he reporting? Like
No, he's
exactly.
reporting. She walks in, she looks like she doesn't know what the hell she's doing, and then she's like, "Okay, thanks," and then she leaves.
It's not, well, like, he dismissed
Seems
it.
a little curious.
He was just like, she's a superior officer. I better not question her.
That's odd.
Yeah. And this starts the series of like, sort of like skeptical, you're crazy looks. This one here from Riker in particular, which is pretty golden. There's more to come though. In the turbolift later on here, like, Crusher's like, I'm not crazy. I know this man. Everything else. And like at this point, they only think it's only Dr. Quace that's missing. And the crew, while still thinking she's a little bit crazy, are trying to help her. So they decide, we're going to examine O'Brien. Maybe he's been tampered with. Not only have the computer banks been deleted, but O'Brien must have had his memory erased. So he's called to sick bay, who Dr. Crusher starts examining him. And in the process, she tries to call over to one of the other doctors, Dr. Hill, I think, but no one responds. Then she tries to call Dr. Salar. Another mention of Dr. Salar is once played by Susie Plaxon, but no one answers.
Which is a crying shame, by the way.
Yeah, well, no, like Dr. Salar only appears in that one episode, but she gets mentioned like all the time in this show.
Yeah.
Anyway, but when she does an inquiry with the computer says there are no such people on board. And O'Brien's like, you're
crazy.
O'Brien, this is beginning like you're even crazier than we thought. And Dr. Crusher then goes to see the captain and says, I'm the only doctor on board now. No one's ever heard of Dr. Salar. And Picard's like, I've never heard of Dr. Salar, even though she's served on the ship for,
Who is this Salar you're speaking of?
Yeah. So but Crusher also explains, like, not only does, the captain not remember, but like her medical staff don't remember. People who had worked with these doctors, she knows worked with these people. So like the whole thing's very curious. Meanwhile, they go down to engineering to try to figure out what this might be about. And this is when they talk about the static warp bubble. And so the Wesley and the LaForge of this reality, they have to explain all this and how it all worked, and that the Traveler was involved, and that given basically us all the exposition of what this is all about. But they're trying to get in touch with the Traveler inside of this little micro universe, I guess, but they can't. And it's just getting a little bit more worrying. Dr. Crusher goes to sick bay here, and she's feeling even more isolated and, I don't know, going mad, I guess. Where does she go here next? She goes back to the bridge.
I think that's when she discovers her entire staff has gone.
She's like, I have no medical staff anymore. It's, and they go, is that weird? That's like normal. You've never had a staff before.
We don't even have the holodeck doctors yet, or hologram doctors yet.
We don't even have hologram. She's like, I'm the only doctor on a ship of 1,000 people, and Data's like, no, we only have like 200 people on board.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
It's like 203 or something like that.
She's like, what?
She still wouldn't be the only doctor for 200 people.
Right. She would.
Well, it depends. Is this the American medical system?
Might be. Well, it depends. It's this is the series. This is the second Riker going, what the hell is she?
Riker
smoking?
going cuckoo.
Yeah. Can we stop with this, Captain? And he's like, no, we can't.
He's like, no, I shag her once in a while.
Like at the end of in this episode, I think she's going to profess her love for him. Like, there's something I've always wanted to tell you, Jean-Luc, and then he disappears. But we're not there yet. Anyway, so I yet again another Crusher talking to Picard. about this whole thing, that he's trying his best to help her, and she's like, you have to understand that the people are vanishing. Babies I've delivered have never existed. And Picard, he's like, well,
dogs living together,
mass hysteria.
Hysteria.
But he's like, I really have no choice but to go along with what you're saying because there's too much risk here, which is not normally what they say in these types of episodes. But he's a very
usually Picard's like, you're an idiot.
I have a mission to carry out. I can't be going to
time for this crap.
Picard went and lived a life in 20 minutes when he was dead or something on the bridge.
Oh yeah, the beige episode. Yeah.
That hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet, but he should be very sympathetic.
God, I hate that episode.
I love that episode, Jody.
Oh, everybody praises it. It's a terrible episode.
It's okay. It's like he plays the flute at the end. Come on.
Yeah. I got a flute.
You don't have a picture though tonight. Have you?
No, because my stupid camera's not working. We've covered this, Adam. Move on.
Yeah, no. All right. Wow, you're crusty tonight. Okay.
I am.
We call him the crusty Jody. Anyway,
Daddy Anger.
Daddy Anger.
Anyway, so then we see that Crusher's in sick bay, minding her own business, doing tests, and then this vortex opens all of a sudden. This flashing beacon of light that tries to suck her in, and we think that this is what's happening to people. People are getting sucked into this blue vortex. That's how they're disappearing. So, but Crusher, she's got an iron grip. She's holding on for dear life to that bulkhead, and she's not. She's gonna be.
Blame her. I wouldn't go through that thing either.
No, I don't blame her either.
That's the thumbnail for the Netflix version, by the way.
Oh yeah,
when there was.
She's holding on to that replicator panel there, and yeah, like that seems to be what's happening here. Dr. Crusher, luckily she was able to hold on and she didn't get sucked in, but she's very concerned.
But if she got sucked in, this episode would be over.
Yeah. Then just to add to her insanity, she's like, okay, guess what, everyone, up in the conference room, I had a crazy experience, almost got sucked into a vortex. And LaForge is just like, I don't know, I've had my team, which can't be that big, probably only 3 people now that we're only 200 people on the ship, but I got my whole team looking at that sick bay. I can't tell that anything ever happened there at all. It's just that into we keep turning up rocks. We keep turning up rocks for you, Beverly, and nothing's there. But she's like, I know what I experienced. I was nearly sucked into a vortex, to be damn sure. Is this where they realize, now there are only 100 people on the ship? And I think Dr. Crusher says, how could there only be 100 people on the ship if the ship can hold, not just 1,000 people, but, probably up to, 8,000 people on the ship? The Enterprise D is gigantic, okay? Even with 1,000 people, it's not very populated inside the ship. And then she goes, why all the extra rooms? And he goes well, I guess we have an evacuation, that's why we have all this extra room. My favorite part is as small as the crew gets, they all think it's the way it's always been. So they're very comfortable, even when it just gets down to Picard and Crusher. And she's like, just you and me flying around the galaxy, he's like, well, seems
that's
right.
how Jack Crusher is made.
Exactly.
We finally got an answer.
Taking on the Romulans and the Ferengi, just 2 people on the flagship of the Federation.
Yeah. Then she says, well, we better tell Worf to run a security protocol. And then
this is my favorite part.
Picard goes, who? Worf. The grumpy guy. Never Klingon man, right? And nobody knows.
Smiles.
Never smiles.
Imagine a world where Worf doesn't exist. Oh, that is really a utopia.
Horrible.
How could you?
Worf sucks. Move on.
Come on. I was looking for a good Worf quote, but I don't have one.
Because it doesn't exist.
Would you like some chamomile tea?
Yeah.
Good tea.
Prune juice. Troy shows up for a second here. And
why? There's nobody on the ship to counsel.
The ratio is one therapist to 10 people on the ship now.
Right. And now that Worf doesn't exist anymore and no one knows who he is, I think Crusher's really spiraling here. She tries to walk away from the meeting, very distraught, and Deanna tries to, console her. She's like, "Am I going crazy? I'm driving everyone crazy trying to look for this up." And Deanna, I don't know, she's kind of nice about it. She's like, "So what? You're trying your best and you're trying to help people and feel better." And everything else. And then everyone's disappearing. And this is when Dr. Crusher goes, "But what about Wesley? I hadn't even thought that Wesley could disappear." And then she runs off and Troy's like, "Well, I tried." But that's the end of that.
I was almost thinking she was giving a look going, "Who the heck is Wesley?"
Well, that's what her look was, yeah. Because every time you mention somebody that doesn't exist anymore, they go, "Who?" And that comes up. But Wesley does still exist because she goes to sick bay, or engineering rather, thinks he's gone, but then Wesley is still here, and
she looked kind of disappointed when she figured that out too. Did you notice that?
He's the only one in engineering now.
He is here.
Relieved, Jody. Relieved.
Oh, is relieved the word? Okay.
Yeah. So, anyway, but this is where I think this is the first mention of the Traveler actually in this scene, where she's like, "Well, maybe we can go find the Traveler, call him on Tau Ceti Alpha or whatever." So then they start walking away here in engineering, and by the time she turns around just to talk back to him, he's missing. Wesley is now gone, and her son is gone.
And the deleted sheet, and she's like celebrating.
Perhaps.
He was right here.
He was right here. Now he's not. Yay.
And then she comes to the bridge, and now it's just her and Picard, and he's like, "I think I've been very reasonable with your craziness," because she's going around looking for everyone now. Riker's gone, Data's gone, everyone.
I love how mad he is, though. I just love it.
What does he think the conversation's been here? Like, I came about Dr. Quace, but now I just kept making up other people. Like, every version of that conversation would be different now, right? For him.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Yeah, even though he doesn't really exist. And she's like, "Just you and me here on the ship by ourselves. The two of us."
The two of us roaming about the galaxy in the flagship of the Federation. No crew at all.
We've never needed a crew before.
We never needed one before. Why would we start now? It's been
Come
going
on,
well.
Everly, set course for inner course.
Why is the Love Boat theme playing?
Well, because it's just the two of them, I guess, on this private yacht.
The two of us.
Well, we'll need a captain, and I guess we'll need a doctor, in case the captain gets sick, and that's it.
Well, yeah.
The
ratio is really good on this ship for that. Like medical care, superb.
Right. So she begs him to turn around the ship to go back to the starbase, which I think he agrees to do here. And she's losing her mind, but she's like, let's start like monitoring your vitals just to be sure, because you're going to disappear too. Everyone's going to disappear. And so he's like, "Okay, fine." Like, so he asked the computer to start reviewing all of his vital signs, like audio, minute by minute.
I remember thinking this is really cool when I was younger. Like, the ability to do this.
Yeah, he starts giving his temperature readouts and everything else.
It just keeps reading it, and then all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah, and this is where she's like, "Jean-Luc, there's something I always wanted to tell you. I've always needed to tell you." He's like,
"We have a son.
We will.
We will have a son."
Yes.
Don't look away. Like, she hasn't learned that you don't look away.
This is don't look away.
Like, if there's only one person left, wouldn't you just like keep your eyes on them the entire time?
Well,
like,
she can. I guess she has that. She's hearing the audio from the computer, so she has this sense of like security about it. But she looks away, and then when she looks up, because the audio has stopped, the computer readout has stopped. He's gone.
What should have been? This would have been a great scene if like it was just Picard like hiding behind one of the chairs, and then he pops up. And he's like,
if he
gotcha.
just goes peekaboo. I guess that's in poor taste, but
I would have liked the chair to flip up and bounce as he got.
like in a theater.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dr. Crusher now all alone, no one to talk to but the computer. And then the vortex opens up here on the bridge. Again, she
has nothing worse. There's nothing worse than a random vortex showing up,
No, that's no good.
That was quite a screenshot, by the way.
Oh yeah, well, bad hair day, am I right?
You are.
Oh, it'd be great if Heather showed up with her hair like that.
Yeah, she was like,
that was a
"Woo!"
missed opportunity. Hopefully she feels better.
I was like, she's almost getting sucked into the vortex here. She's holding on to like Data's chair here on the bridge.
But if everybody's leaving, why does at this point like nobody's there anymore? So it's like just go in it.
go in the party? Maybe there's a party in the vortex.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
Who knows?
that's the exit.
I took a couple screenshots here, and then I took this one, and you can see like the console kind of through her coat here. I'm guessing this was done on a green screen, and that's why we're.
Oh, I would imagine, yeah.
And
it's probably her reaching up. And then
That's not her. Look at those hands.
Yeah, it's
Ah,
probably
good
not.
point.
It's probably a stunt person, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Right
Those are
there,
some
she looks like she's holding a lightsaber.
I bet you it's Patricia Tallman. I bet that will come up in fun facts.
I hope so.
Patricia Tallman, who went on to play Lita Alexander on Babylon 5. Just so you know.
Yeah, nobody
The more
knew
you
that.
know.
She was also Beverly Crusher and Kira Nerese's stunt double on those shows. Anyway, but we hear inside, like, while she's about to get sucked into this vortex, we start to hear voices. We hear Wesley's voice. We hear Jordy's voice, you know, and then we come out here and we're in engineering where they have this portal going, but it closes, and we find out that Wesley and Jordy were trying to rescue Dr. Crusher from the bubble, but it is collapsed, and
This is a big reveal, right? We find out she's in the work.
we find out she's the one who's in like the other dimension, you know. She's the one.
It gets cool here. I like this idea. You know, when we find this out.
Right. And then we realize, you know, it's actually there's something more nefarious going on. And just then, who's here to help Wesley? It's Traveler, who
Bring him back.
Kevin Millard always gets a creepy vibe off of this guy, and I was starting to feel that more today.
Well,
Like-
he is a guy that just randomly shows up behind children and starts talking to them. So
Oh boy.
Kevin calls him the groomer. You know, he's always like, and you watch like how he talks to Wesley. It's like you can kind of see.
You know how I liked it with that first episode where we had like Kaczynski and the Kaczynski bubble or whatever he was doing. And he was so patronizing towards Kaczynski. You know, he said, "Yes, I just helped him."
Whatever the Kaczynski needs, he can have. Kaczynski also gets mentioned quite a few times in this episode as well, in dialogue. But so then like the Traveler starts breaking down what's happening to Dr. Crusher. She's trapped in this micro universe inside of the warp bubble, and while she still thinks she's alive. Like she may not be lost, but we need to work together. And the Traveler can't do this on his own. He needs Wesley Crusher. So he's got to groom him into this role.
I still want to know how the Traveler types so fast when he's got those fingers.
Well, he does it all by thought,
Crazy
Jody.
fingers.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't even need to look.
True. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, but we go back in here with Dr. Crusher, who is still inside the warp bubble, does not realize she's trapped inside the universe quite yet. She's gonna get there, but she now thinks she's the only one left on the ship. She doesn't even realize it's like the entire universe yet. She just thinks it's the Enterprise. At this point, you know, and she's going along. The computer can't quite answer her inquiries. She even has like a pretty good question here about what is the mission, you know.
Oh yeah,
What
she's
is the
basically
primary mission of the Starship Enterprise?
To explore the galaxy.
Do I have the necessary skills to complete that mission alone?
Negative.
Then why am I the only crew member? Aha.
I love that error sound.
That
Yeah.
information is not available.
Gotcha, bitch.
It was definitely.
Yeah, I like
that,
how she kind of like gets sarcastic with the computer though, which is even better.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
look at
like,
that! Look
"Gotcha."
at that sarcastic.
Oh, that's a
Look
hip.
at that! Look at that hip tone right there.
Yeah,
That's,
exactly.
she means business.
I think is this where she tries to set course to the Traveler's planet, or is that
Yeah,
what
I
she's
think
doing?
so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And she's like, well, it's going to take like 113 days to get there. Okay, well, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
I got
else do I have
no
to do?
other ideas. Let's go. It would have been interesting if like she had spent like an amount of time in there, like 100 days or something. Like, what would that have been like? Anyway, so Wesley and the Traveler then have a conversation out here in the real world about what it's going to take, and you know, him kind of coaching Wesley in the powers of space and time and thought, and doing it out and I don't know. Traveler says, "Do it like this," and Wesley says, "I can't." He's like, "Oh, yes, you can. Just
You were a
focus."
wonderkind.
You are Mozart of space time. You got this. Just close your eyes and you can do it. And he's like, I can't do it. Well, then whatever. Anyway, so then Dr. Crusher on the outside, trying to still figure out her situation, realizing like, what is that on the outside of the ship? What's that purple cloud outside? The computer can't quite define it. It's 780 meters in diameter. So she puts it on like the science display, I think here next, right? Realizing that they can't scan beyond it. It's circling the entire ship. I guess before we get the explanation, we're back here. The Enterprise, meanwhile, in the real world, has returned to the starbase. They're in the exact same position they were when they tried the warp bubble, which is part of like the conditions of trying to get her out. And Wesley and the Traveler are working on that. And the bubble is back. They found the bubble once again, even though they thought it was collapsed forever. Like they have a way maybe to get her. So with they can start working on this, but it's starting to collapse. If they need to move fast, this is not going. Time is of the essence. Meanwhile, Dr. Crusher is really. This is where she starts to figure out that the entire universe is the one who's crazy, not her. She sees that like the universe is this smaller bubble that's collapsing in on us, and she realizes it looks like Wesley's experiment. She then tries to overlay that over the image of the Enterprise, which is now disappearing meter by meter. Basically, it's like slowly being dissolved. They have this explosive decompression because bulkheads are just disappearing, and so in 4 minutes the whole ship is going to be gone forever. I was like, you need to get off that bridge, like it's about to disappear fast, Bev. But she was still trying to work it out. And then she goes, well, if you were hypothetically trapped inside of a warp bubble, how would that manifest? And I think the computer, figures out that, we don't know that. Like, we have no information to explain any of that. And they're saying, well, hypothetically, it would look like a big, like, blue stormy thing that would pop out and try to suck you in. She goes, that's what it was. They've been trying to help me. It's not me that's crazy. It's the universe. And I'm in the pocket dimension. I need to get out.
I feel the same way.
So then she's trying to figure out, where do I go? What do I do? How do I help Wesley from in here? Where, the experiment, she eventually will put together, the experiment was first done in engineering. That is where she needs to go. While Wesley and the Traveler are doing everything they can to keep the thing from collapsing faster.
Click your heels 3 times and say, there's no place like home.
They do, yeah. They reference the Wizard of Oz and the whole Dorothy of it all.
And you were there, and you were there.
And then you weren't, and then you were vanished forever. So even the turbolift can't quite get her to engineering because the ship is disappearing. So she just has to go to a certain part of deck.
I'm not sure I'd be going into a turbo lift when I'm not sure that like some parts of the ship are still.
Do you know how long it would take to climb down?
I know, but still, like
way longer than 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You know how quickly you could die.
Right. Now, anyway, yeah. And meanwhile, back in here with Wesley the Traveler, like even Wesley is starting to become translucent. He's starting to phase into this other plane of existence or wherever he is going, because the Traveler and him are kindred spirits, and this setting up the greater Wesley storyline that we will get in this show and beyond. Anyway, while Dr. Crusher gets back down to 36, the turbolift behind her starts to dissolve, and she has to like run away. And so she's like really racing to cleanse the clock. The portal is opening up here in the real engineering, and meanwhile, the Dr. Crusher down in her pocket universe also finds a similar version of the portal, and can just run into it. And this is the save the day. As she pops out here, kind of where she started, here on the floor of engineering. It was very tiring for Wesley and the Traveler. They both collapse in the process as Captain Picard, comforts her on the way up.
Would have been better if it was like she gets there and she's like, oh, thank God. Oh, Wesley, I missed you, blah, blah, blah. And then she just slaps him. She's like, dude, why do you keep doing this to people?
No more science projects.
Yeah, you're not allowed to science anymore.
Yeah. She sees the Traveler. Was this you? He goes, nope. Oh, Wesley. Blame him for everything.
Well, It is his fault.
But she's a mom; she'll forgive him. Anyway, glad to have you back, Doc. And and she goes, "How many people are on the Enterprise?" And he goes, "Like 1,014." Does that sound right, Doc? Oh, that's perfect. Not all the people have disappeared. I'm not sure. I always wanted to hear about the Traveler. Did he poof out of existence, or did he take a shuttle back to his planet after this?
I think he can, circumvent time and space. So perhaps he could just teleport himself anywhere he wants to go.
Yeah,
Teleportation.
He teleports. Because the episode kind of ends very abruptly now that Beverly's saved, and we're back here at the starbase, I guess. Again, docked and unloading people. So I'm not sure if the Traveler walked across that catwalk or not. But that concludes our breakdown of this episode plot. It's a fun one.
And what happened to Quace?
Oh, he was still there. They go 1,014, including your friend Mr. Quace or Dr. Quace.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, he's fine. Oh, good.
But they didn't bring him back.
And he was never seen again.
They should have been actually, he's been covering all your shifts in sick bay because we've had no doctor.
Because you've been slouching.
Yeah. So it actually kind of worked out. He was going to be the new chief medical officer if we never found you again.
But you know what's sexier than Damon Quace?
Well, I'll tell you what. It's Adam Woodward.
Oh.
Sexy, sexy time with Adam Woodward.
Let's go, man. Okay, so we've got some fun facts. So I was wrong. Gates McFadden did all her stunts in there for the vortex effects in the sequences.
Those are her wrists.
Oh no.
So shortly after, and this is interesting, shortly after performing this stunt where she's thrown from Data's ops console chair, she found out she was pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Jack Crusher.
Not the best time to find that out, but okay.
After you're flying around the Enterprise.
And she only has one child, right? That's just her only because Data goes on, or sorry, not Data. Brent Spiner goes on to be the godfather, I believe.
Yeah, he's the godfather of her kid. I know that.
The story originated as a subplot for Family from 1990, in which the crew were to have disappeared due to a wormhole. However, it was felt there was not enough room for both plots, so the premise was developed as a separate story.
That's the correct call.
Agree. Eric Minyuk, who played the Traveler, originally auditioned for the role of Data, but was beaten out by Spiner.
Good
yeah, I don't think he'd be good Data.
No.
His makeup was modified slightly for the second appearance. Here and in Journey's End, his makeup was much paler than in his first appearance, where no one has gone before.
He also looked a lot puffier to me. I don't know if he had gained weight since last time he was here, but
3 years.
I like that. I like that character. I think that they had an opportunity to do more with him, but I don't know. They didn't. So.
I have his action figure.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know he had one.
Yeah, he's got one in the second series of the Playmates. Yeah, I have it in box. Yay! Well, on card.
The model was of the Starbase was previously used in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. So I guess they built these star bases for decades, hundreds of years.
Well, that's the thing is that they had them built for the movies, so it made sense to use them for the show as well.
Well, you're not going to completely renew a space station.
No,
kind of makes sense that it would still be older.
We know by the time we get to Picard that those stations have been retired. We see that the one that's being used for the Fleet Museum at Atham Prime. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, this took me down a bit of a rabbit hole. The title "Remember Me" was the last line of the unused lyrics for Star Trek 1966 theme song composed by Alex Courage and lyrics by Gene Roddenberry. So I went to look for the lyrics. Are you ready?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
I'm not going to sing it because I can see it, but
well, then she's
so beyond the rim of starlight, my love is wandering in starflight. I know he'll find star-clustered reaches, love. Strange love of the star woman teaches, I know. His journey never ends. His Star Trek will go on forever, but tell him.
His Star Trek will go on forevermore. Is that how it goes?
He wanders his starry sea. Remember me, remember me.
Remember me, remember me.
Okay, so I'm going to just judge this right now and say, thank God they didn't use this.
So apparently, this Alexander Courage was the guy who wrote the music, and Roddenberry, being Roddenberry, decided, well, I can get more money if I
Put his name, if he's like co-composer, basically.
Exactly. So he took half the money away from his co-composer, the guy who wrote the music.
Yeah, it sounds like a complete Roddenberry move.
Yeah.
Roddenberry was such a douche.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Somebody
He
else
did
said
a
it,
lot
not
of
me.
really shitty things.
So pressured by Roddenberry, Courage made a handshake deal a couple of years earlier that gave Roddenberry the option of composing lyrics for Courage's Star Trek music. Roddenberry exercised that option, writing lyrics for the main theme, asserting his right for the half the performances of royalties as a co-composer. I would have been pissed too, because he never used them. He wrote the lyrics with the intention never to use them.
Oh, really?
But
That
like
explains why they're terrible.
like when you hear the original theme song, is there like are they actually singing words?
No,
Or is it just no, right?
They never used them because it was all his scheme never to, or so he could make money off every time that's played, he's making money.
Okay. But how can he be a co-composer if they don't use the actual lyrics? Like that's
Well, he probably wrote that in some contract somewhere too. He was a bit of a.
It's all about the lawyers. All about those.
Roddenberry was an asshole.
Courage protested in vain, although the arrangement may have been legal. It was unethical.
Mm-hmm.
Roddenberry's lyrics had added nothing to the value of the music and were created no other reason than to usurp half of the composer's performance royalties. And then unsympathetic Roddenberry proclaimed, "Hey, I have to get money somewhere. I'm not going to get it out of the profits of Star Trek."
Well, okay, but what about Courage? Doesn't have to make money elsewhere either.
Yeah,
so like, was the idea that Courage was only hired with this handshake deal? Like, okay, I'll hire you to write the theme song, but I get to write the lyrics. And they said deal, and that's what happened. Is that how they made the handshake?
Well, he
deal?
said we made the handshake deal, but a couple of years later, they gave him the option, or Roddenberry the option of composing lyrics. Courage signed a contract unknowingly, he later claimed.
Well, needed a better lawyer.
Well,
sounds like it.
Or Roddenberry just faked a signature and said, "Yeah, you signed it when you're drunk."
That's also very possible. It's a tough town.
You know, one thing about this podcast together, I have learned that Gene Roddenberry was not a nice man.
No.
I've been saying that for years.
He was and
I'm listening.
Well, yeah, he was in terms of like his business, the way he ran business, and this it's ironic because like season 4 is when they've really pushed him out. Apparently, right? He'll die a year after this episode, or so.
Yeah, around there, yeah.
But like Rick Berman is like fully like taken over by this point, and is running the show for better or worse.
The least
also a bit of a douche.
Also a bit of a douche.
Berman
I don't know. Like,
is
it just like a cutthroat businessman Hollywood mentality, or
I'm sure there is a lot of like industry stuff that's the issue, right? But
well, I mean, at the same time, this is 1966, so the show is not doing. I mean, it started not great.
True.
It only lasted a couple seasons, so he is probably trying to protect himself and make money.
Yeah,
but like Paul Anka. Like, here's an example of Paul Anka. Canadian composer, wrote the theme for the Tonight Show, the Johnny Carson version. Remember that? He got $500 a night for all the time it was played.
Every time it's $500.
$500, so $2,500 a week, 365 or 52 weeks a year for 30 years.
Well, that's good money.
Yowza.
It's good money, especially back then, right? Like,
wow.
Well, the inflation.
So, I mean, Courage probably lost. I mean, if it was that, and this went, how many years have been Star Trek been played now, right? It's decades.
Sure.
The premise is similar to a Twilight Zone episode. It's called When the Sky Has Opened in 1959.
It really feels like a Twilight Zone episode, but
yeah.
Maybe that's why I like it so much.
Yeah, Outer Limits, whatever.
Yeah, very Outer Limits, yeah.
Interesting. I always got a Doctor Who vibe from it because of the whole time paradox thing.
Yeah,
timey-wimey. Yeah.
Wobbly wobbly.
Like good Doctor Who, though.
Well, That we spent hours just trying to figure out what's good Doctor Who.
It's easy.
There's a 47 reference.
If it's 12 or less, it is.
I don't know about that.
ERJ, sorry, EG, oh my gosh, EJR87R. You want to throw his comment up there. This might be unpopular, but 90s Trek especially was far better without Roddenberry's influence. I don't disagree.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You know, like a thing with Roddenberry
No,
is like he did have some good ideas and he did have some good instincts, and like so it's hard for you can't really like just say, well, he was bad or he was good. He was he was a mix, but
he was a very creative man, and I think he created some very awesome things. But I also think he treated people like shit. And,
I think if I knew him in real life, I'd hate his guts. Like,
oh,
for the record.
absolutely.
But you know, but he also had really good instincts on like who to cast and how to create characters and all these other things.
Oh, true.
That, like
Yeah,
so,
very
like
true.
that I think he did very well in both series.
Yeah.
Still a douche.
Mhm.
Well, he's dead now. But
And so is Rick Berman. Rick Berman also does a good
Berman's
job.
a douche too. Yeah.
But he also runs a good show here and there too, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
it's like
Yeah.
you can be it's not
You can be a
excusing
jerk.
it, but
You can be a jerk
Um,
and still be good at it.
I'm not excuse. It's not to excuse their behavior. It's just to say
Exactly.
that like it doesn't. I'm just trying to take away any of their merits, I guess, as well.
Makes sense.
Dave, there was a 47 reference in this episode. At one point, the computer says that the universe is a spheroid region of 705 meters in diameter. Later, Jody warns the bubble universe is collapsing at a rate of 15 meters per second. That means that Dr. Crusher had 47 seconds of real time to live.
Yeah, okay. Sure. I didn't even pick up on it, but okay.
Me neither.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Features one of the few Starship flyby shots in an alternate reality at the beginning of Act 1. I'd like to know what that was.
Well, it's because we still think we're in the bubble universe, and so she's flying through space, right, on the Enterprise, but it's not the real Enterprise, right? I guess that's what they're implying, because
Right.
we don't know we're in the pocket dimension for a good while at all.
Yeah. Okay, so to answer the question about Wesley, Jody, I'm doing this. I know you don't want to talk about it.
I don't know if I'm right. But
Well,
probably.
I don't know. There was no real reference, but here's the Wesley Crusher related danger incidents. The Naked Now.
Yep.
Wesley's intoxicated by the polywater effect and takes control of engineering.
Yep.
Okay. Where no one has gone before. Wesley doesn't cause a danger, but his interactions with the traveler indirectly contribute to the Enterprise being flung across the universe.
Yep.
Data lore. Wesley fails to. This is not his problem. Wesley fails to convince the adults that Laura's impersonating Data.
Yeah. that's
Well,
not-
that was we can't put that all on Wesley.
no, that has nothing to do with Wesley, really.
Although it is comical how much they dismiss him in that episode.
It is, though. They're like,
Oh, do shut up, Wesley.
Yeah.
Shut up, Wesley.
What else we got here? Actually, there's more about where he saved the crew. I mean,
Yeah, I don't want to know.
But
About
we were
that.
trying to figure out the over/under for how many times he's put the ship in peril,
Well,
right? Well,
honestly, it doesn't seem that many.
No.
so
I got-
you were the closest at 6.
I got three times.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Eh,
Okay.
nice.
All right.
But
He
it-
saves the
it feels-
day.
It feels a
Adjusted
lot
for
more, but he saved
inflation.
the day a lot
Well,
more.
okay.
He saved it in the battle. He saved it in the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of the go-to to save things.
His final episode is coming up this season, like as a regular at least.
Yeah.
Is-
Which
is-
is
final
final
mission.
Well,
mission.
I think he was just getting interesting. I was sort of, anyway, whatever. He's gone.
It is too bad that he leaves the show in this season because the character was starting to really come into his own. But
There's a couple episodes where Justice. Oh, Wesley breaks the law, endangers the ship. There's a fourth one.
okay. There you go.
And Evolution, Nanites escape from Wesley's experiment. So we're going to now 5. And that's it.
Okay, you still have it, but
You still won.
if we had got up to 7, you would no longer win because you would have gone over
Okay.
on the Price is Right. So
Woohoo. All right. Well, Bob, I'm going to turn it back to you.
all right, well, thank you, Adam. That was great. Appreciate the sexiness and the fun facts of it all. All right, well, we're in the part of the podcast where we're going to rate the episode. Let's do it. And score this out. Okay. Remember Me. This was a decent episode. I like the science fiction of it all. I like the mystery. I enjoy that they gave Gates McFadden a more of a prominent role. Like, this is really the beginning of the character-driven focus on one of our ensemble cast episodes. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm at 8.5 for tonight. Jody?
Yeah, I'm pretty much up there with you, Dave. I'm gonna be a little bit nicer. I'm gonna give it a 9. It's a very good episode.
Oh,
That's very good.
Yeah.
All right, Adam.
I like talking about it with you guys more than like watching it. So I'm going to give this a 7.5.
7.5.
How dare you?
All right, Heather was not with us tonight, and Shaggy. He came in saying your dad told you don't like that episode, but you say it's not so bad.
It's not so bad. I again probably not the biggest Beverly Crusher fan, so I would give this a 7. I mean it's a good episode. I enjoyed watching it more than my dad did, so 7 out of 10.
You should have your dad on one day.
that'd be fun.
Yeah. I've seen him in
If he's
pictures.
willing to, we can make it happen.
Anyway, so with the 4 of us, we are averaging an 8 out of 10 tonight. Not bad. This has a 7.8 on IMDb. So we're not too far off from there. Worldmind saying the Wesley story has an interesting and satisfying epilogue in Star Trek Prodigy. Yeah. Well,
The
yeah.
Traveler was in Prodigy, right? His voice, anyway. His voice.
The Traveler himself is not in it, but because by that point Wesley is a Traveler, right? So he's like so
Goodness gracious,
Yes.
I need to do season 2 of Prodigy. I am so far behind.
But the guy Shaggy, the guy who played the Traveler was voiced in Prodigy. Apparently, I don't know.
Aaron Mechanic. I don't remember him being in the season, but maybe.
I don't think he was. I think maybe it was anyway.
Or maybe we just hear a voiceover or something from him. But yes, that's true. Wesley also appears at the in Star Trek Picard at the very end of season 2 there.
Yeah.
Him and Kor Soong, remember her?
Yeah, and then listen, I hate to ask this question because I should know it, and I ran across in that little rabbit hole I was going down. I ran into something that said that Wesley married Robin Leffler. Do you guys know about this?
I've heard that, but I don't think
that's more of a fan.
I don't think that's canonical whatsoever.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Might have been in one of the books, maybe.
Yeah, but if maybe they were like, we want to get Ashley Judd back at it, to guest star in a future Trek project. So this was our fishing, but I don't think that would go over. All right, well, everyone, that is our rating for.
Can I give my Suddenly a Human rating?
Yeah.
I like that episode, guys. I'm going to give that a 7.5 as well.
We didn't dislike it. We just weren't over the moon about it. It was okay, but we liked it more than we thought we did. If that's anything.
It was better than I thought it was going to be, but
yeah. But I liked this episode better, so that was just me.
Dave, do you want my ratings for the 4 that are missing there?
Sure, I do.
I'll give them to you quickly.
Yeah.
Brothers, I will do a 7.5 on that one.
Yep.
Family was better, so I'm gonna go with probably just an 8.
Okay. Well, Shaggy, while we're here, do you want to weigh in?
I would like to give 10s to both of the Best of Both World episodes.
Got it. Anything else?
I'd also probably give a 9.5 for Family. I really, really like that episode. Him and his brother reconnecting in the vineyard. It's fantastic.
Ironically, not in the episode Brothers, but whatever.
Funny enough.
Right.
That was Family.
That was Family. Okay. All right. All good then?
All good.
Well, I'll give you the other 2. Sarek, I'll do. That's not nearly as good as everybody says it is. It's like a 7.5.
It's a 10.
No, it isn't. I'll fight you.
7.5 from Jody.
And anytime Mark Leonard's in a Star Trek episode, it's like an instant 9.
There you go.
Totally agree. At least a 9.
You guys
Sarek of Vulcan.
Anyway, Transconfigurations is an absolute terrible episode. That is a
Yes,
2.
it is.
Yeah, it's not great. What are you giving
You
it?
gave it a 5, Dave. I gave it a 2.
2. Okay.
Anyway, there we go.
All right. Are we all good on our ratings then?
I guess so.
Good.
Okay. Well, looking ahead to our next podcast here on the Star Trek Next Generation podcast, the next episode we are reviewing is called Legacy. Where is that one? Here it is. Legacy. In this episode, the Enterprise crew is caught in the midst of a civil war on Turkana 4, and former crew member Tasha Yar's homeworld meet while negotiating with one of the factions. They discover the faction's representative is Tasha Yar's younger sister, Ishara Yar. So this is the Tasha Yar sister episode.
Yar. It's a good one.
Yeah, I got no one signed up.
Yar, no pirates.
This will be we're gonna be on next week, but then I think we're taking the week on after that off as I'm gonna be away. So and I couldn't quite figure out anyone else to host.
Which episode would that be?
Would be after Legacy.
Yeah, well, the one that you'll be missing for.
There would be a reunion, which is the Kalar episode, which I don't want to miss.
That's a good episode.
Kalar and Duras. So I
could host it if you want, but if you don't want to miss it, let's just
I
skip
mostly
it.
well I can't miss that.
That's such a good episode.
That's
and
it's
it's
incredible.
Kalar. Nobody wants to miss Kalar.
And I'll defend Worf to the end.
This is a good episode for Worf. I'll grant that. But anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for our TNG reviews tonight. But also, you can check out our For All Mankind coverage. We'll be on Monday, season 5 of For All Mankind. The episode coming up is called No Sudden Moves. Look
Last week's episode I missed, unfortunately, but
it was called Svoboda.
it was great.
It was good.
Freedom.
Freedom, and it was a big riot and everything else. Do you watch that one, Shaggy?
I have not.
Yeah, well, check it out one of these days. Maybe you'll like it. And also, we have our Survivor podcast over on the Super Mater Brothers podcast every Wednesday. We were on last night talking about episode 10, A Side Dish of Chaos. Mr. Beast showed up, everyone.
Why?
Oh, it was great. You know, Foster was so into it.
Got money.
Yeah, he showed up with the money. The prize is up to $2 million.
Oh, boy.
Damn.
Exciting. And yet I still have no desire to watch that show.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Weird. Yeah.
Anyway, it's
Mr. Beast isn't gonna bring me in. Let's just put it that way.
not gonna pull you in.
No.
All right. Well, it's I have to like talk Foster off a ledge every time, so it's something else.
Poor Foster.
Especially last night. Look for that, and also on the Hey, Did You See This one? They are on tonight talking about Final Fantasy VII. I'm not sure if they're talking about the game or the movie, but go check that out over with Jason
Final
and Steven
Fantasy
on
7. Oh, Advent Children?
Yeah. Is it a movie or I don't know what it is, but like
if you like movie. Yeah.
If you like Final Fantasy, they got it covered tonight. So go look at their stuff too. All right. Well, we'll leave you with
4
this.
hours to kill. Join in.
Yeah. It's a great podcast, but it's a marathon.
It's so long.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us tonight. We'll leave you with this quote from the episode, and we'll see you next time here on Live Long and Podcast. Cheers, everyone.
Whom did you say?
I'm doing it.
Riker, your first officer. He's very good at playing poker.
Very
Loves
good.
to cook. He listens to jazz music, plays the trombone.
I cannot find any evidence of a Will
Riker.
O'Brien, Jody, Worf, Wesley, my son. They all have been the living, breathing heart of this crew for over 3 years. They deserve more than to be shrugged off, brushed aside, just pinched out of existence like that.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, Did You See This One? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.